just finally got permission to leave Old Up. So we are heading off to the new city-states. We're allowed to use the airships. A privilege for us. So we're gonna go fly around and see the other city-states. As I put my necklace back on. Anyways, here we go. Fuck. Hi, Adian. I wasn't actually coming to log on to you. Forgot I need to change data centers. Unfortunately, I was not able to make Aelin on my main data center, so... I'd say she's off, having some quieter adventures, but, she does have a certain troublemaker bun boy following her around, so wouldn't say that one's quite true either. Bring that on to battle, then we can make it normal size, but you... Board the airship. Let's go. Attention all passengers. The airship bound for Linsula Means is about to depart. Please make your way to the boarding gate. Bye, Thancred. When we first met beneath the sultan tree, I sensed there's something unusual about her. I wonder if they feel the same. Godspeed, Aelin. Godspeed. If If I'm right, they'll be singing your praises from the far reach before long. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Hi, guys.
It has been 15 years, but the bitter taste of defeat lingers still. 15 years since the Imperial fleet set course for Mordona, led by the Egrios, mightiest of all vessels. Silver Till lay ripe for the taking, and all of Eorzea would soon be ours. Or so we believed. But an innumerable host of dragons met us that day, at the heart of which flew the great Nilfgaard Zormer. Though we succeeded in slaying that lord among worms, the dread serpent's defeat was bought at too high a price. Our invincible flagship was lost, and all hope of victory with her. So ended our glorious conquest. Eorzea, a blighted realm, riddled with false gods.
Really like hearing yourself speak, don't you?
Twice now it has eluded the Empire's grasp.
Yep, it has.
For all the destruction it wrought, even Meteor, the great sin, failed to yield us control over it.
Mm-hmm.
And for this failure, the realm has sunk deeper into depravity.
Has it really now?
It is twisted beyond all reckoning, rotten nigh to the core.
I don't
Yet
believe you.
It must be saved.
Saved, you say?
Only Garlean rule can bring order to Eorzea.
Is that
Falls to us
so?
to deliver the misguided masses from their ignorance.
Okay, whatever you say, Gaius.
We are of one mind, Lord Van Balthar.
Senior engineers, please report to Magitech research following scheduled inspection.
Hey, is the Legatus really planning to take another tilt at Eorzea?
Hey? What hole have you been hiding in? We're in the midst of preparing for a new campaign, and a huge one at that.
But I thought the Emperor had given up the Western lands for lost after Cartano. What could the Legatus possibly hope to gain by acting alone?
I sense you harbor certain doubts over the wisdom of the Legatus's plan.
My lord!
Please, call me Nero. Tell me, where were you born?
Othard, my lord.
Alamigo, my lord.
Ah, codename Hummingway, I presume.
I don't know what you...
Silence. Your denials will not change your fate. I assure you, Frumentarium sees all. Clean up this mess, and do not miss any, or I shall be most displeased.
At once, my lord.
Garland, soon you will be made to know the true power of Magitech.
Alright, Nero. Alright, up to the Bella Carla we go. Greetings, madame, and welcome to our fair city. If you would permit me to examine the seal of your missive you carry. Yes, everything seems to be in order. My apologies. We cannot afford to be complacent, you understand. Please step this way.
Enter. So the silver-tongued merchants send an adventurer to speak for them. It appears the Uldans place great faith in you. This way.
Frankly, I think you'd trust
bid
the
you
adventure
welcome.
more than them anyways.
I am Melvib Blufisvin, Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, and Commander of the Maelstrom.
Melwib Blipposwim? That is.
Now, what news from Thanalan?
Memorial service to honor the fallen? Seven hells. Has it been 5 years? 5 years since the Garlean Empire sought to wrest Eorzea from our grasp. It was in answer to the imperial threat that the city-states formed the Grand Companies and forged the Eorzean alliance anew. But Garlemald was not content to wager all on a simple contest of martial might. They had other plans, and the Meteor Project. Legatus nailed von Darnus, Hell's Take Him, intended to cleanse our realm by snatching the lesser moon, Dalamud, from the heavens and crashing it down upon our lands. Desperate to prevent this lunatic scheme, we marched our forces on the Cartano Flats, and there met the 7th Imperial Legion in battle. Never have I seen a fight like the Battle of Cartano, and I have never seen full many. I have seen full. But, though we gave no quarter, spared not 1 ounce of effort, we could not prevent what followed. From inside the shell of Dalamud came a winged nightmare, a dragon the size of a bloody city. 'Twas the elder primal Bahamut, bent on making an 8th hell of Eorzea. In the space of a breath, the legion of the Empire was set aflame, while our own armies fared little better. 'Twas as if the whole world was burning. Words cannot describe the scene. And yet, by some miracle, a few among us were spared. Even as I steel myself for death, and a blinding white light enveloped me, robbing me of my senses. When I regained them, the dragon was gone, and the still smoldering land was warped beyond all knowing. Were Archon Louis still with us, he would no doubt shed some light on the unfathomable happenings. Alas, he is not, and I fear we will want for his wisdom in the days to come. For while our nation struggles to recover from the devastation, the beastmen call forth their damned primals to torment us anew. Unless we put aside our differences and rebuild now, our foes will catch us unprepared. And I speak not only of the beastmen. Do not imagine that the Empire has forsaken its claim on Eorzea. Imperials crowd our borders waiting to strike. Damn it all. We need champions to replace those we lost. But such thoughts are worse than worthless. Time is short, and none will save us, save ourselves. That is the duty of every soul who survived the calamity, to work together for the good of Eorzea. And this memorial service may be the very thing to unite us. Aye, Raban has the right of it. I accept his proposal. Your duty is done here, adventurer. I'll see to it the Flame General receives my reply. Travel to Gridania, yes? Pray give my regards to the Elder Seedseer. Oh, and tell her the wolf has been sniffing around the stables. A private jest, and one in poor taste. But I would have you tell it all the same. Fare you well, Aelin. May the navigator guide you on your journey. Let's not go to the airship landing yet. I'm smarter than this. Okay. Got my basic attunement done. Okay, now we can head back to the airship landing. Ah, yes, the starting place of the basic bitches. And by that, I mean the Makode bards. Which by that, I mean I was a basic bitch, the very first character I made in this. Actually, I think first and second character were both, Makode bards. I am only calling myself out on this post. Though my main character, I started off as a male aura paladin. So a lot less basic bitch. And I got into the game with that, so... Go see the Elder Seeds here. I mean, I'd say Ellisons are a little less basic bitch than, Mikode. Not by much, though. You get only a half pass. I will pick up all these quests later. They will all get done. But I didn't touch any of the quests in Linsa, so I'm not allowed to touch any of the quests here until I have to circle back around. Nah, you're safe on that one. I tried a Makode Bard, fell off, tried a Makode Bard, fell off, tried a Lullafell Scholar, I think she was? And didn't continue with that one either. And then... Actually, the Lullafell Scholar was between the two Mikode. And then I made my Aura Paladin.
So you are the Uldan envoy. On behalf of our fair nation, I bid you welcome. Please. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Khan Senna, Elder Seedseer of Gridania, and leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, our nation's grand company. I understand you bear a message from the Flame General.
A remembered service for the fallen of Cartano. Pray tell me, adventurer, do you know the conflict with the Empire? It would seem my counterparts recounted the tale in some detail. That is well. A message from the Admiral? A wolf has been sniffing around her stables, you say? I see. Shall be pleased to provide her with such counsel as I'm able. But first, friend of my friend, I would tell you more of the Garlean threat. For the greater part of its history, Garlemald was not even amongst the most influential nations in Ilsabard, the northern continent. However, its innovations in the field of magitech, some 50 years past, helped to raise it from the depths of obscurity. Emboldened by its technologies, it set about subjugating its neighbors, swiftly absorbing each into its ever-expanding territory. And when all of Ilsabard lay within its grasp, it turned its ravenous gaze upon Eorzea. Yet Garlemald's transformation did not come about by virtue of magitech alone. Its success owed much to the consummate leader of its first and reigning emperor, Sulla's son Galvus, the man who built the empire up in his own lifetime. Yet he has lived long, and after more than 80 winters, it is said he has grown frail and even more prone to illness. If rumors are to be believed, the matter of succession has destabilized the imperial court. This would explain the empire's relative inactivity in recent years, which has granted us a much-needed time to rebuild. Yet we cannot allow ourselves to become complacent, for Garlemald still maintains a presence in Eorzea in the form of the 14th Imperial Legion. Commanding this great host is Legatus Gaius von Balsar, a man whose ambitions are well known to us. So long as he breathes Eorzean air, none of us may sleep easy. The calamity wreaked such devastation upon the realm that it has been all we could do to nurse our wounds. Never mind rebuild our defenses. Simply put, we have not the strength to repel the Empire. To add to our woes, the beast tribes continue to summon their primals, whose very existence is a bane upon the land. Each nation is beset with its own primal problem. None has resources to look beyond its own borders. The Admiral desires my counsel in regards to Brazen Wolf. She means to tell me that the Empire may soon resume its advances, though the primal pose an undeniable threat to our survival. The threat posed by the Garleans is too great still. Clearly, each nation can no longer afford to think only of which occurs within its own borders. A storm gathered amongst the horizon. If we are to weather it, we need to stand united once more. A remembrance service may help rekindle the spirit of unity which brought the people of Eorzea together when the last of the Empire threatened our liberty. The Flame General was wise to make the proposal, and I wholeheartedly approve of it. The necessary provisions shall be made for a service here in Gridania. Your work here is done, my friend. I shall send my reply to the Flame General forthwith. And thank you for coming. May the 12 see you safely home. Alright, off to Limsa Lamitsa. And this is why I needed to stop and actually, attune there so I could just teleport back. Alright, but before we get to the Drowned Wench, we have a bunch of quests and Aetherites to open up. So, let's start running around. We're not going to read out all the side quests. My chair keeps decompressing. really love it if my chair would stop just slowly sinking down on me. Like, come on. Said, stop it. Affable angler. Now, the one thing I will take is the job to become the ninja. Yes. I'm gonna join the Road Guild. I didn't scare you off then. Benny told me you were meddlesome lass and so proven. You'll need every ounce of that metal soon enough. Now step inside and have a prattle with Jack, our upright man, the master of the guild. Looking to head inside. I don't actually know if it's Jack or Jackie. I'm the one they call Jack. Though, I'm surprised you've ever heard me. Perhaps you'd be good enough to tell me your name, along with that of the kindly cove as told you mine. Holy crap, it's so hard to read out loud. The famous Aelin. Old Lonnie Left Patch let you in, did he? You can't throw a blade for shite, but that one I don't miss not. Then it comes to sizing up a dimber mort for a Stalin. It's one thing. You ain't a pirate, are you? Well then, it's time you was stalled to the rogue. Put on your best beater, Trace, and I'll swap ye in myself when you're ready. Now, I could fill your waddles with some storied history of our guild, but that just wouldn't wind. The most important thing is the only thing we care about is getting the job done. Now, most folk, and I'm assuming you're among them, know that not long after Limsa was founded, the city was overrun by a motley collection of pirates and thieves. But as wild as that lot were, it soon became clear that they'd all end up killing each other if they didn't lay down a few rules. An unspoken code of conduct, as it were. 1. You don't bite the purse or your fellow Limsa. 2. You don't rook a crew out of their spoils. 3. You don't trade calls like they were chattel. I admit the finer points of the code are a mite murky, but most agree on those 3 at least. Yeah, I can see that. Now, you might be thinking none of that amounts to a sack of dillberries. Now, the admirals outlawed piracy, but in the back alleys and black markets where Mirweb's grip ain't so tight, the code's still alive and well. And just as law is enforced by Yellow Jackets, codes is regulated by us rogues. We go wherever the shadows are darkest and hand out justice to them as break the codes. Some rum-soaked coves steal goods from wrong calls and we steal them back. It's a job, my natty lass. Of course, we don't hop the twig when blade works call for neither. You see, there's more to our dagger play than just sticking calls with pointy ends. We'll weaken the mark with poison, fade away and strike in the darkmans, whatever it takes to get the work done. Well, Aelin, what do you say to that? Got the guts to do a rogue's job? I do. I need to figure out her backstory. Where does Aelin come from? Who is she truly? Alright then, first off, we have to get your kit sorted out. Our rogue needs to be light on her dew beaters to stay on the marked trail. The job might have you fighting across the deck or weaving through mobs. And the last thing you'll want is bleeding great battle axe. What hooks itself on every rope and post. That's why we stick to daggers. They'll let you slip through the streets just as easy as slip through rooks and ribs. We could have a lore discussion. I need to figure out some lore for her. Of course my characters have to have lore. It's me. Here, take these sabers and let's see how they look on you. Just don't get so excited when your new toy that you forgot to dress for the role. You'd be surprised how many cults come back to me with their bloody small clothes. Rogue unlocked. Speaking of bloody small clothes. I get to see how pretty Aelin is without her cowl again, for a little while at least. Matched up those daggers on without cutting yourself? Well, we're off to a good start, I'd say. Next, you'll want to get a feel for the weight and speed of your new weapons. I reckon those beaten cheats in the fields outside Limsa would serve you a good first lesson. Aye, test your blades on a few of them. lambs, then slice up some rats and puggle for good measure. Mind that you mill them beasties one at a time, though, lass. I know you're served far worse in the past, but you're no dimmer dammer with them stabbies just yet. Oh god, that was painful to read through. I learned how to dance like a pirate. I love everyone frozen in place. Alright, now we're back to being proper pirates, I see. Oh, let's go grab. Yeah, my biggest question with Aylin's lore is where is she coming from? Where does she come from? Where did she reside before this? Tempted to think from Charlian, but I do already have a warrior of light character from old Charlian, so I don't think I should make a second one from there. But I don't know where else to make her from. Oh, I guess in many ways you could say that black mages don't really have combos. No wonder I'm just learning about combos. I'm like, how am I only learning about combos now, but black mages don't really have combos in the same way. Also, isn't Matera from the first? Which, I mean, would certainly make things interesting, but then I'd have to come up with lore about how Aelin got from the first here and then started becoming the Warrior of Light. Yeah. Could be from Ishgard. Be from one of the high houses in Ishgard. Or maybe she was, maybe I steal more of book lore and she is from a high house of Ishgard that isn't talked about anymore because people think they're all dead. They don't know that Aelin survived and is traveling around Eorzea. I don't have a character from Ishgard, that is true. I mean, I have characters who adopted kids from Ishgard. But no one who, actually... And back to the fucking cow. Alright. Soon I'll be into the levels that these aren't, thing. I think I'll be okay for a while without Uber. I'm just, like, collecting random quests. I don't know where the quest will take me. So, after family is gone, little Aelin was smuggled out. Where has she been laying low, I wonder? I mean, she could be a Rogan. Then kind of set off on her adventuring ways. Went to Ilda, started learning, the way of the Black Mage using some of her magic, before just now finally returning, quote-unquote, home to Limsa. Limsa, it would be a good place to hide away in. Like, it's full of rogues, thieves, pirates, and bandits. Trevelyan? Yeah. You could take a rowboat all the way over to Ulthard. No. There is only one man crazy enough to do that. the other idea I am tossing back and forth is that I could just steal one of my D&D character's backstories since he died, in which he was a part of an assassin family, except for really bad at it. And not really a bad person compared to the rest of his family, and thus, yeah, he didn't fit in very well. And tried to get away and, like, learn what his own life is and be useful by learning magic. And then just discovered in the process of learning magic that he much preferred having a normal life with his friends. Nothing about this is normal. Than, being an assassin. Or just go somewhere in the middle and, I still have actual family dead and gone, adopted family, assassin-y, and, just over here, not quite fitting into any circle, and suddenly, oops, I'm the Warrior of Light now. Kill 5 of these things? Well, damn. I'm gonna be level 10 before I get back from doing my level 1 quest. You know, I joked about her, rowing all the way over to Othar, but on a less jokey note, maybe that is where she hid out for years. And getting back to Eorzea, just from everything and routes and kind of in a sense sneaking back in instead of coming towards Linza, she ended up taking a bit of a longer route and coming in offshore and ending up over in Ul'dah area where she started kind of settling her roots before returning to Linza, where I'm sure she spent some time before being shipped off across the sea. Ideas. Thoughts are brewing. And you always know that could be dangerous when it comes to me. Well, I return to Linsa. I'm going to quickly go put away some dishes. I will be right back. Alright, back. And all this warrior of light shit that Aylin's doing right now is all just to build up the courage to even return to her home. She's not ready to go back to that place yet, and yet she was... Ooh, that's pretty. In many ways, sent from where she was living back to Eorzea with the intent of needing to return home. Needing to go back to Ishgard, but Aylin's conveniently coming up with reasons not to until the reasons not to bite her in the ass because she becomes too important and needs to. Oh there, Aylin. I must say, you're looking comfortable enough with those stabbers, oh years. I reckon you're good and ready for your first assignment. Ordinarily, I'd stow you would and let you get on with your work, but seeing as we only just dragged you into the shadows, might be a couple things you aren't familiar with. Let's build on what you likely do know, and that's the fact that the Admirals, God bless her soul, has outlawed piracy in Limsa. So, why do you think there's still so many sodden pirates in town? I'll tell you why. It's because there's still one way for them to loot and pillage without incurring the wrath of the law. All you need to do is apply to serve the thalassocracy as a certified privateer. A captain with a privateer's license is free to terrorize the seas till the Algoats come home, so long as he only targets vessels that belong to the Garlean Empire. Of course, considering how bloody vast the Empire is, there's plenty of loot to go around. Crews fill their holds with Imperial plunder, then sail back here to Linsa to offload the spoils. And that's where this particular case went sour. See, this one's crew got their fumbles on magic tech device, a foreign mechanism to be precise, but was rooked out of their hull by some heavy-handed coves. If you recall, that doesn't sit well with the code. If you're bold enough to rook a pirate out of its due, then you'd best be prepared to a visit from the rogues. Aye, and speaking of visiting rogues, Underfoot, over here, lad. I want to pair ye working together on this. Pass sentence on him, code defying rooks, and bite back in the magic parts. Huh? What's the last need me for? You're in charge of the new recruits, aren't you? Aylin's first assignment. You're to go along and give her the benefit of your wisdom. Since when was I in charge of the new... Oh, bugger it. So I guess we're partners for now. Name's Harumu. Most of my fellows call me Underfoot. He might seem like a touch reluctant, but Puramu's one of our best. You just do as he says, and you'll get the job done. Okay. There is something relatively entertaining about the idea of a character who's, like, attempting to run and hide and shirk responsibility and ends up with the ultimate responsibility. So, like, if I just don't go there and go here instead and fart around in this place of corrupt Lullafels, maybe I don't have to go, like, home yet and deal with all that bullshit. Instead, ends up becoming the warrior of light and the savior of Eorzea. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Cosmic dust. Interesting. I see a troublemaking bun boy. Oh, hey, look, there's Caravillion. There we go. I attuned all the Aetherites and Insa. Look at me go. I can play the game, guys. Thousand words called out through the ages. Send them until the wind, until the wind. Don't mind me. Just being a weirdo as one does. You know, I love the fact that Merweb sent you with a message for Kane Senna and was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a silly joke we do. I really shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Then you get to Kane Senna and she's like, here, let me explain to you exactly what this means. It's not a joke. The Garleans may be active again. Be prepared. Like, any attempt at being covert just went out the door because Kane Senna didn't want to lie. Probably not. Though technically she still could have gone, okay, interesting message. And then kept her mouth shut. Guys, I just had an idea, and I don't know if it's a good or a stupid idea. More lore ideas. When Aelin is sent across to Othard to, hide out for a while in probably like her teen years, she is sent to the care of, what the fuck? Why did I just blank on his name? Uh, it starts the name. Why? Lord Hien. Hien. That's the name. Which then does that mean I have to also pick up Samurai? Might mean I also need to pick up Samurai. Then Hien sends her back when things start getting really bad there, before he goes and does his disappearing act on Gotetsu and could be interesting. Yeah, she probably wouldn't be sent to Hien's care. She'd probably have been brought up alongside Hien. Because Hien's in, like, what? His mid-20s? How old is Lord Hien? You guys can tell I've, played this game before. 25. There we go. Yeah, mid-20s. So she is definitely not young enough she was sent into his care, but she could have been sent to, like, care of Hien's family and thus brought up alongside Hien before being sent back to Eorzea. Okay, we have to go back up to the Drowned Wench. Where am I going? This way. Nope, not at all. Alright, off to Summerford we go. Still in my mind workshopping ideas. Because it would beg the question, if it was right after the Garlean Empire took over Doma, why anyone would send any child to Doma, but we're working on it. Depends how old I make Aelin? could be possible that none of it was planned, and in attempt to escape what essentially happened to her home and to her family, Aelin somehow got far enough that she ended up near or in the sea and was picked up by a sailor who just brought her to where they were going and got dropped off essentially in Doma. As a quote-unquote mystery child. A mystery child that was too well dressed and too well mannered to be truly just another urchin. But what exactly happened to her, no one really knew. Still in one piece too. You have done well for your first assignment, lass. I don't look like much, but that crew put their lives on the line to cloy this here bauble. They'd be pleased to see it snatched back from the ruffians. You've yet to do dainty demolisher, Jack. The job ain't over yet. You're right. You're right, Underfoot. It ain't. You break the code, you face the consequences. Oh, not what I expected from the inside of the convent. And who might you be, sirs? Your ignorance is understandable. After all, our schemes are always perfect, our haste impeccable. Shall I relieve our infamous name and drink it your delicious terror? We are deadly, dastardly, and dictionally devilish. Quail before the dainty demolishers. Captain, Captain, I say. There's the louse who misappropriated our merchandise. I concur. She is the self-same simpleton whom we trailed unnoticed to this very establishment. Surprise, surprise! Now, my dear dandies, let us not be unpleasant. We should endeavor to resolve this distastefulness without responding to insults or other less diplomatic methods. At least not yet. You there. Yes, the clean-cheeked errand boy. Be a good fellow and fetch me your superior. One of your colleagues has committed a terrible crime against us, and we shall not be leaving until the proper restitution has been paid. Oh, I'm an errand boy now, am I? Tell me, Captain, just what kind of place do you think this is, then? This place? Well, I suppose it's some manner of convent. The one-eyed doorman named Dutiful Sister of the Edelweiss or some such. And you've yet to realize your mistake? Your fate was sealed the moment you dragged your Quaron across the threshold. Are you threatening me, boy? I'll have my fellows cut out that impudent tongue. We've exhausted our reserves of dainty today, lads. Show these fraudulent sisters how demolishers deal with the upstarts. You still don't understand, do you? There are but 3 sorts of calls when the doorman lets you pass. Clients, recruits. God, spit! I'll kill you all! Didn't your mum teach you not to interrupt a lady when she's talking? You'd have learned that 3rd sort of coal is the bullocks for brains what marches himself right to the rogue's den. Rogues? But we were so careful. I heard tales of my pirate days, stories about the merciless wraiths who uphold the code. They weren't called rogues back then, though. The upright thieves they were. The knives in the shadows. You can't be then. You're just trying to scare me. Well, the captain of the Dainty Demolishers is not so easily cowed. To hell's with your deceptions. Huzzah! Huzzah for my fallen comrades! Deceptions? Aye. Anyone you meet could be a rogue, Captain. Even a clean-cheeked errand boy. He's still breathing. Just some rope and string him up in some place in town. Aye. And now the job's done. Quite an introduction you had there, eh? Welcome to Lince Lamince's ever-turning underbelly, where the thieves shed their skins and become rogues. And morning to you, Aelin. And a fine morning it is for a spot of work, wouldn't you agree? This time, it seems some eager buccaneers scampered aboard the local merchantmen and made off with a shipment of muskets. Now, seeing as they ain't lawful to cloy from Lincoln vessels to begin with, the Yellowjackets fell upon them daft coves before their boots were even dry. Aye, they caught the pirates right there on the dock, but stolen broomsticks was nowhere to be found. Fenced in longboat deal, I'm thinking. That's when our guild was officially contracted to retrieve the goods, which weren't really needful since the code would have us on the job anyways. You don't bite the purses of your fellow Leamson and all that. So this is your assignment, me natty lass. Find out where the weapons went and bite the shipment back. Seeing as the cutters as hit the merchantman were already rotten to iron, you needn't rush with your stabbing and stabbing. I want this job handled quick and quiet, and I have the perfect partner to show you how it's done. This year's Vekebe, the Stray. Ain't no other rogue that can match her in the art of sulking. A pleasure. There's a problem, Vekabe? You seem a bit out of sorts. I'm blood and starving. And I had one of them finger sandwiches set aside. You know, those egg-filled tasties they make at the Bismarck? When I got back from me work, they were bloody gone. Uh-oh. That was Vekabe's. I thought it was Underfoot's. Well, you just head out on the job, and I'll see if I can't turn up that missing sandwich by the time your turn. Alright, Jack. One more little detail you should know. Them muskets was meant for the Yellow Jacket's armory. So, once all is bobbed, you can hand the goods over to the calls directly. The quest is go get a sandwich. Hello there, miss. We've carp and trout, lobster and shrimp, but I hear tell you've been looking for a special breed of fish. Long, skinny kind, with sparkle put a bloke on its arse. We don't sell that kind here, but you might try them for a merchant. What was they called again? The Trader of Edge. They're ale from the Southern Sea Isles, and we're known for dealing with types of nasty spitters and cutters. I should warn you, these folk aren't one for questioning the source of their merchandise. In fact, they seem more happy to pay for goods what came from below deck, so to speak. But if you're still keen to get ends on those rare fish, then you'd best hurry. The Edge merchant, what you're visiting, Linsa, is looking to load up and leave the city before long. Just so it means to transport is good, remaining a mystery though. What with all those ire blades and got nursing is operations, it makes it hard for a girl to get close enough to eyeball the competition, it does. I'll be sure to keep an eye peeled on your behalf, but it might be as you learn a little more from the folk around town. Guys, I am struggling with most of these pirates. Holy fucking shit. I am struggle busting the Linta accent. Yes, that is accurate. Traders of Edge, eh? Well, if one of the merchants been staying in the city, then someone will know something to point us in the right direction. The trick is to listen without being seen. I'd be surprised at how culls will cackle when they think no one else is about. We'll focus on places where we see plenty of traffic. You can have Bismarck and Ferry Docks and East Hawker's Alley. I'll try me luck with a few other spots, then meet you in front of the guild when I'm done. Remember, keep hiding, keep quiet, and keep your waddles open. Diving Dove appears, distress over some matter. Approach her while you're cloaked in hidability. Okay. The sneer on the customer's face. Does he think I can command the skillet to cook more swiftly just to meet his pressuring departure schedule? I don't know how things are done in the southern seas, but here in Linsula means that folks appreciate the fine cuisine cannot be rushed. Come now, Dove. You must not speak ill of patrons. Now, what was the next on my list? Another finger sandwich for dutiful sisters. Someone there must be rather fond of eggs. Oh yeah. The fact he thought it was someone else's sandwich and that made it better to eat is also wild. Oh. I didn't realize it turned off my hide at that moment. You have quite an eye for quality, sir. You've a splendid range of products from every corner of Eorzea. One simply cannot visit Linksel and Linksel without sampling some of the local specialties. Would you care for some freshly squeezed Lanosian orange juice? Or perhaps our famed salt cod is more your taste? Here's my sense of duty. Would I have stayed at the wench for an extra pint instead of returning early? I don't ask to see anyone being bribed, and certainly not my relief pilot. I wonder what the merchant was about. Smuggling, most likely. To report this to the Yellow Jackets, but what if I'm being watched? Could end up face down in the harbor. Welcome back, Aelin. I hope your skulking went well. You might be an angel of death with the daggers, Dove, but any rogue what shuns the shadows is headed for early grave. A sneaky mort can nose about without risking scrap or slip herself into the best position to ambush a mark. Once they've seen you, though, your run from is done. Hiding is part of concealment and part of distraction, and you won't be disappearing on a cove when he already knows you're there. Alright, I'm done prattling. What did you manage to learn about the Muscovy merchant friend? Flipping coin to the ferry pilot, was he? And by what he heard from the chef at the Bismarck, the trader means to hop the twig in soon. That matched my own findings. He's vacated his room at the inn and paid his dues in full. Being a merchant, we can't be sure that he won't be leaving without his merchandise, so here's the plan. Wait for him to stack his goods on the pier, then you ghost in and grab them firearms. I'm hoping we get the job done quietly and under cover of Darkman's, but it never hurts to be prepared for the worst. Sounds like he's got a small army of sellswords on the payroll. I'll send word to the Yellow Jackets and have them post a coal near Hawker's Alley. That way you won't have to have far to bolt once you've bitten the good. The mark should be along in a moment. Aelin, have your skulking boots on? Alright, let's go. Go do some skulking. You're not supposed to be here. I thought I ordered my hirelings to keep this jetty clear. 1, 2, 3. There's one missing. My crate of muskets, it's gone. Thief! Stop her, you useless sluggards! What am I paying you for? Yeah, go ahead and hit your boss. It'll be funny. Sure, he appreciates it. Ooh, glad back. I'll say that. Okay. I don't know where she went. It's fine. I'll just keep going this way. Actually, do I even have to fight them all? Maybe that's what's happening. There we go, there's the yellow jacket. Let's hand off the muskets. Alright, the quartermaster will be pleased. That turned hairy, didn't it, Dove? Once he reached the Yellowjack, it's though the merchant called off his blades. Wise enough to cut his losses, I'll give him that. I'd say we're done here. Let's head inside and tell Jack the Bene news. Heard the sound of fighting come from outside, and now the whittled the cause of it. I thought you were aiming for subtle on this job. That many squads was there? But you got the yellow jackets what they wanted. So all's well that ends well, eh? You're on your way to becoming a first-class rogue, Galen. We don't know what subtle is. It's fine. Fire-breathing witch queen and all that. Aye, the job didn't unfold exactly as planned. But do you see the value of keeping out of sight? Skulking might seem slow, but it can save you time and a fair amount of bleeding in the long run. Speaking of unexpected development, a bit of bad news for you, Bekabe. So try and look. It seems like some unprincipled cove has yaffed your sandwich. There were naught but crumbs to be found. No, my sandwich! It was a Bismarck special. Do you know how much I was looking forward to that meal? My belly's about to cave in on itself. 'Tis a tragedy of the highest order, love, and you know I can't bear to see my rogues in such distress. So I gave Underfoot a special assignment. He should be back any moment now. With a freshly made Bismarck special finger sandwich. You did that for me? You're not japping with me, are you, Jack? There ain't no japping matter. Guildmaster's responsibility is to see that all his coves and morts are at the best for the job. Jack, there you are. You got the sandwich you ordered. And didn't the chief give me a waffle when I said it was in a hurry? Maybe the chef gave me a waffle when I said it was in a hurry. Maybe next time you could think twice before you yell a fellow rogue sup. Oh, bollocks. Jack? Did he eat my supper? Now, lass, let's not be hasty. There's a fresh new sandwich right here for you. No harm done, eh? You've cloyed something that belonged to me, Jack. And I ain't gonna... I can't ignore the code. The code? You mustn't ignore the code. You're having a laugh, aren't you, lass? Lass? Ah! That might be the swiftest string up I've ever seen. A punishment fitting of the crime. Take a good long look, Aelin. The code exists to preserve peace in Limsa, to keep the alleys from running red with blood. The city's me home, and I'll draw daggers to any cove fool enough to threaten that peace. A pointed lesson. Let's head inside, eh? Your sandwich will get cold. Hey! Don't you leave me here all night! At least give me a grand view of the harbor. God, piss, these ropes are tight. Yeah. This is great. And now we find ourselves in debt to the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild. The impropriety of it all. Would that I could see them occupy a cell next to those thieving pirates. Okay, little girl. So before I head inside, can you actually see Jack strung up? No. I was wondering if you could see him hanging there for a while until you finish off the quest. be funny though. Ow, them ropes will leave chafe marks for bleeding weeks. May have wriggled myself free, but that's the last time I lay my belly to thinking. And just think, Vekaba strung me up over an egg sandwich. Those coves, what well and truly stomp on the code, get far worse. Keep your training, lass, and you'll be soon be handing out rogue justice yourself. Alright. Okay, finally to, like, back to the main quest. Took me long enough. It's fine. I'm no longer a rogue. I can't try to sneak past troublemaking bun boy. Welcome, drowning wench. So wherever you like, lass, I'll be with you in a... I am Batteron. Alright, who's asking? I've heard I got a job for a capable adventurer. You say? Well, you're bloody right. Just so you're fairly warned though. This ain't no job for the faint of heart. Things are liable to get downright bleeding airy if you think you're still interested, let me know and I'll fill you in on the details. Thank you for taking the time to help me out. Now, I'm sure you're busy, so I'll come straight to the point. As it's some suspicious-looking buggers have been sneaking in and out of the Satasha Seagrod, and I need a trustworthy sort to head up north to Aleport and find out what who they are and what they're up to. Didn't sound like much, I know. But it weren't so long ago that Fishback Pets Pirate paid us an unwelcome visit, and your folks are feeling a bit nervous. If you would permit me, Master Batteron, I should be happy to elaborate. Well, if it ain't the Chief Yellowjacket himself, to what do I owe this rare honor? Commodore Rainer? Come to make sure my patrons are behaving, or just thirsty? Neither. In fact, I was informed that you had requested an adventurer to assist in my investigation, and I came to offer what information I could sift from the recent reports. Over the course of the past moon, there have been several sights of an unfamiliar vessel off the coast of Aleport in the vicinity of the Isle of Umbra. This information came to my attention no more than a few weeks after a squad of my own soldiers had completed a routine patrol of the region. the Satasha Seagrad included. Their search revealed little, save for a family of corals had taken up residence in the caves. Nothing to concern us, in short. In light of recent developments, however, it would seem wise to search Satasha again. But, in the Sahagan testing our defenses daily, I'm loath to assign the task to a limited force at my disposal. Our lines are stretched as it is. Thus I sought the service of a competent adventurer to conduct an investigation in our stead. Any aid you can offer in this matter would be greatly appreciated. Then it's settled. Satasha is located in western Lenosi. For more details and instructions on how to reach the place, I suggest you consult Vimalpa. She can be found at the ferry dock on the lower decks. You heard the man. Good luck to you, lass. Gotta love the, wide range best made delivery dates. Your package has been shipped. It should arrive anywhere between the 5th and the 27th. It's a 22-day difference. It's like 3 weeks. And those 3 weeks make a, huge difference when it comes to getting here in time for Christmas. Oh, you haven't done the beauty of skin deep on this character? How could you not unlock the esthetician? Shame. Shame. You always need the esthetician. How else would you change your hairstyles? I remember when I thought it would cost a lot of money to change our hairstyles. Not anymore. Well, on Ayland it'll cost a lot of money. Fair. What, are you saying you don't do every aspect of story on every alt you have? How fucking dare you? You only have 1 million of them. challenge logs. Okay, time to go to Gridania, and then... I should do story, but also I'm in Gridania and I'm like, I could just go ahead and finish trying to catch up my rogue by doing all the side quests in Gridania. That is also an option. Nah, I'll go get this, and then we'll do... will we do Satasha tonight? Because then if I go to do Satasha, it means I'm gonna want to get... Maybe I'll just go do the thing... I say things. Words are not working well with me. In the Hall of the Novice, so I can get gear before I go into Satasha. And the Hall of the Novice will probably take me long enough. They won't do Satasha anyways. But now I'm just talking out loud, so we'll see. We'll see what we do. Unless Hall of the Novice might actually be level 30. Might do Satasha first. Long story short, we'll start heading in that direction. And see where we get. Okay, it is 15. That's what I originally thought, and then I'm level 24 already, but then again, I'm on a preferred server, and you get through that really quickly. Nope, too far. Because it took me this long, now you actually benefit off my teleports. Beauty Reborn. Yep, of course. Well then. You're just a JoJo's character. Fascinating. I see the spread is being watered again. I leave the space of the watering can. Alright, 40 gil to go to Ailport. I should just be going to the Hall of the Novice, but now I'm heading over here. Go do something that I should be higher level to do. You know, all that sort of fun stuff. He's only level 15. He'll be fine. I have Bloodbath. Keep your day job. Up, 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 and away! Dusk bat. I wish I could. Dagger throw. Other few levels. See, everything wants a piece of me. That's why this is a level 15 quest and not a level 12 quest. It's fine. We'll make it work. I have bodyguard. need one more bat. I'm not allowed to hand these in. Like, you're not level 15, bitch. Like, getting much... I wasn't even getting experience for those because I was too low level. It's fine. Just go back on my thaumaturge. Head to the Hall of the Novice. Do you know what I'm supposed to be doing? Hall of the Novice membership granted. I'm prepared for Hall of the Novice. It's fine. You're gonna tell me to get the fuck out of the party, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Time to go get out this fucking cowl and get them into some decent looking clothing. Main reason I do Hall of the Novice. The only reason I do Hall of the Novice, I'll be real. And that's probably all I'll do tonight because it's 20 to 8, but... So while I do this, let's continue, like, talking through lore. Character lore. Because I really don't need, pay that much attention to this. So, the question is, who and why did people attack Aylin's family first? A high house that is no longer a high house because no one, as far as they're aware, is alive from it. And this probably happened like 20 years ago. What was going on in Ishgard 20 years ago? Me out of here. Someone might find out and decide to take at the family to keep them from reclaim. Well, I was thinking 20 years ago, before everyone died, they were a high house, and they're no longer considered one because they think everyone's dead. And instead, Aylin ended up overseas in Doma, growing up there for quite some time. Before finally kind of being pushed to return to Eorzea, potentially with the started her journey back shortly after the calamity, maybe. They are ruthless. Like, take out that family. Aylin escaped, but didn't really kind of... He was like 5 or 6 in got into a bad place, ended up on a ship on the way to Doma, and got brought in Doma for some time, but after the calamity in Eorzea, and knowing, still having the knowledge that's where she's from, getting given the push to, hey, you should go back home and, like, probably deal with the shit you've been running from for the last 20 years. So she gets on the ship to go home, but is like, what if I go in this direction instead of towards Ishgard, and ends up in Ulda. Because she is afraid to return home to Ishgard, where, like, her last memories were her dead parents, and, like, even though it's 20 years later, what if people recognize me? What if they are still mad? What if they try to take me out so the High House is truly gone? Well, Aelin got to Doma after Doma was taken over, and they almost tried to help hide baby Aelin. Not baby, she'd be 5 or 6, but... yeah. They got her out and close to the coast, or maybe even on a small, like, boat that they were trying to take along the coastline, but it was struck by pirates or something, and Aelin fell into the water and was assumed dead at that point. But, like, a merchant ship found this child in the water and took her. And everyone knew Aelin got out of Ishgard, but they assumed she didn't die in Ishgard with her parents. She died in the waters when the small boat was attacked. But in truth, she didn't die. She was found by someone else and escorted over to Doma. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Working's gonna take me a very long time to get through because side quests. grind them to dust. Are you having fun sitting on their table? Putting your feet all over their maps? I don't think they appreciate that.
I do what I want.
Apparently. So rude. Alright. Let's go. Evading enemy attacks while defeating enemies. I think I can manage that. Gotta love the Hall of the Novice. Here's how to play MMOs. Please pay attention. When you're in a team, don't run off on your own, and don't stand in the orange.
But what if I want to stand in the orange?
Well, you'll fail the Hall of the Novice. You'll probably piss off your real team members if you intentionally do it.
Not from a tank.
Depends. You could still bother your healer if you just stand in every AoE. It's like, well...
That's my favorite thing to do! Just ask Coden.
Yeah. Tank privileges. Learning new dungeons as a tank is great, because you have tank privileges. The Makode girl about their age started asking him why they didn't date Gwen. Like, well, maybe it's about time, idiot.
Why did you date? Huh.
That's a
Why
thing
didn't
we
we
can
date?
do?
We can do that.
This training exercise. Protect your healer! New enemies may come into the fray! Watch out for the healer. Don't let your healer die. Yeah, I may or may not be considering having Aelin over in Doma for a while as a really good excuse to may or may not eventually ship her with Hia, and we'll see.
As one does.
As one does. The guy who I wanted to hate for so long, and then the game just didn't let me hate him. Like, there has to be something wrong with this guy. It's like, no, he is just a really, really, really good guy. Just through and through. He is just an awesome guy. Like, so his introduction to Adian was like, oh, the food here might not be to your liking. It's a little strange. I'm like, bitch, I grew up here. Don't tell me what I will or will not like. And at that moment, I had decided Adian came from the steppe. And then, yeah, it literally happened that way. He said that I got annoyed at him and then wanted to prove him wrong, and then I wanted a reason to dislike him, and then he literally never gave me a reason to dislike him except for the pre-recorded script for regardless of what race you are to comment about the food, and I'm just like, bitch, please, I'm from here. Then Adian started getting a backstory.
To be fair, Matera didn't get a backstory until Shadowbringers.
Fair. Gotta love when the game just, like, throws you a bone. It's like, okay, now I get a proper backstory. Now that I'm in the place that I feel like my character's from, time to write why they're from here.
Because originally she wasn't originally even going to be an OC. She was just going to be the streaming character.
That's fair.
And then she suddenly became an OC.
Yeah.
The backstory and everything.
I don't think I can have a character without some sort of backstory. If they exist without a backstory, they usually end up not being played. I have a few characters that are like other characters from other things I just recreated in 14, and I don't touch any of those style side characters. Look, we can see my pretty face again.
Yay!
And I'm wearing glasses now, apparently.
Look, she looks cute with the glasses on.
She does. I don't mind the fact that I have glasses. I just now have glasses. look at those teepees on that jackal. Guys, I'm a caster. Please, let me finish my cast. I beg of you.
I said no.
Harold! I don't even have my ley lines yet!
Hey, once you get your ley lines, you don't move out of them.
You know, Conjure, you were also allowed to move. Moldy phlegm. Pleasant.
Yummy.
I don't know how your phlegm gets moldy, but I don't want to know.
Don't question it.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Shithead, it's just a bottle. What? Why are you yelling at me?
I heard that.
What? You're gonna invade Aylin's stream now?
Why, of course.
You invade mine all the time. You're going to invade Aylin's?
Well, would you care to join me through Satasha before I end stream? I don't know when you have to get off for the night.
Yeah, I can do Satasha real quick.
Shouldn't take too long.
Yeah. Are you sinking in or unsinking?
I was gonna sync it, because we'll see how long it takes in queue. My one lone friend. Duty support unlocked. Tasha now accessible. I understand what I must do. Nope. That one Join. See how long this takes. 6 minutes. If it takes any longer than the estimated time, then we'll just unsync it and call it a day. Boop. Can I help you? Can I help you, little one?
Looks like I'm not the only one that having a having pet aggro.
Yep. Of course.
No, I do not want to join your free company. Go away.
Always pet aggro. Isn't that right, Freya? Isn't that
We're
right?
making our own.
Pet aggro. Cover your face. Let's see if I can go get a little bit of experience. Well, we wait. It might not let me, but I'll try. I might be underleveled for this area enough that it says no. Yeah, I'm underleveled enough for this area that it's telling me I'm not allowed the experience here. Darn. I tried. Oh, hey look, it's at his party.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh wait, I'm like, I don't see them. I'm like, I forgot they don't show up for me anymore. Hey, I got a tank that will join us. Oh, never mind.
Etta's party was too mean to her. Like, that they were really kind of cruel. Put her down a lot.
Yeah.
Scathe.
I have like 2 abilities.
Yeah. I'm a mage and I just don't do good at the whole running and fighting thing, so I've, whenever we're running, I'm just spamming Scathe.
I didn't even have my AoE. Come on.
Yes, the pains of low-leveled engines. Penguin Duskthorn. And Amaria Duskthorn.
Guess they were in a party too.
Yeah. Guessing they queued together. Sure. Don't you fucking run. Coward.
No, I don't need the. Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, there I went.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
little slip up. That's okay. You're good.
Yeah, it's fine. And she's learning, so.
It was a big pull. Having fun trying to solo that guy, but not really solo him because I was right beside you. Helping
Yeah.
kill him. You're like, 1v1 me, bitch, and I was like, fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting it, and turn around and just run.
Rin trying to show off over here, not even paying attention to the fireballs being thrown from the back line. Like, see, I can do it. I can do it by myself. Okay, that was bad.
Okay, Aelin. Sure you can.
And even though this is a different timeline, not just a different point in time, I will always refer to, is it Rarn?
Rarn, yeah.
Rarn? As just Young Bun, because I know that was, you know, Forrest's name, just so, like,
Yeah.
younger years, he's just Young Bun.
It's just Young Bun.
Young Bun. Which means he's probably even more stupid. Which
Yes.
is impressive. Rin isn't known for being smart to start with. So,
He's a smart dumbass.
yeah. At least his sons are very smart.
Oh. Yeah, look who the other father is, so.
Yeah. They also can be dumbasses, but in a different way. That was the wrong button. There we go. Every now and then, I just remembered that Gosetsu rode his way from Doma to Eorzea.
Yeah.
That is fucking
That was
insane.
impressive, to be honest.
Yeah?
Don't pull the whole. Sorry, you don't have to pull the entire room.
No, no you don't. These guys weren't gonna hurt anyone. Well, not in the dungeon. Story-wise, you could argue that people got hurt while dealing with the stragglers we left behind, but we don't acknowledge that part.
No. Do is pulling while you're still in cutscene.
That's fine. It's a short cutscene.
Yeah, we'll have him dead before the.
There we go. It's the first dungeon done. We did it, guys. We got through our first dungeon. It's only taken 3 streams.
Yeah.
I am not gonna make it through this game fast. I have a need to get rid of side quests, and the side quests will be rid of. I promise you, they will not be left behind.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to... Do I even have cheer?
Yeah.
Like, is
Like, I
that a
have
base?
anything.
Yeah, okay. I can
Yeah.
cheer. Yay, you beat the game, right? Sure! Yeah. The entire game. All wrapped up in this one dungeon. Alright. With that completion of Satasha, I think that is a perfect place to end it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully we'll be back later this week for more Persona 3 Reloaded. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week and have a lovely evening. Bye.